The Progressive Era was a time of change for the United States. In 1920, women gained their right to vote through the 19th Amendment. However, this amendment did not come overnight. The suffrage movement can date back to 1848 with the Seneca Falls Convention, made up by Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. These radical women wrote the Declaration of Sentiments, a play on the Declaration of Independence stating that all men and women are created equal. Although some men supported the cause for equality, most did not. The antagonists believed that if women were equal to men, women would not stay at home, throwing off the balance of the family. In turn, it would then throw off the balance of the nation. Women took this mindset of inferiority and turned it on its head. They realized that if they were too radical, then they could not get the right to vote. As a result, they turned into a more conservative movement. Despite winning the right to vote, women still fought for social rights, making the Progressive Era a slight success.
Friends and fellow citizens, I stand before you tonight under indictment for the alleged crime of having voted at the last presidential election without having a lawful right to vote. It shall be my work this evening to prove to you that in thus voting, I not only committed no crime, but instead simply exercised my citizens' rights guaranteed to me and all United States citizens by the national Constitution, beyond the power of any state to deny.
In July 1848, two radical women by the names of Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton held a women's rights convention at Seneca Falls, New York. This event was the first major radical feminist movement that gained any notice. By writing the Declaration of Sentiments, a document demanding equal rights to men, women received a title and position to rise to. Anthony and Stanton believed that women should shed light on the fact that men and women are different, but deserve to be equal to one another. This mentality was strong, yet gained very little support from men holding power. Because of social expectations, men and women alike learned that women needed to be submissive and domestic in order to maintain the family structure. Family was important in these times. Men believed that if women became equal to them, family life would disintegrate, and they could no longer be Republican family. For years, radical women were in the lead of the suffrage movement. As years passed, the radical women had to step down and take their fight down a notch. Age was taking a toll on them. While the second generation of the suffrage movement still did support the cause, they had changed their mentality a little bit. These women became more submissive feminists, buying into the idea of being unequal. They did not give up the movement, they simply changed the goal. Women used their differences as to why they should gain more light in politics and other masculine professions. They said their differences would help them shape the world to be better, not to be equal to men, using their inferiority as leverage to gain rights. This mentality was not a joke. Women legitimately felt that there was no way to ever be equal, so they started to fight for what they needed and deserved, the right to vote. Finally, in 1910, hard work had paid off. The 19th Amendment was passed, giving women the right to vote. Florence Kelley was a lifelong socialist, the daughter of the radical Congressman William D. Kelley. She was born into a middle and upper-class generation, yet she fought for the women in the workplace across all socioeconomic classes. In 1921, she helped pass the Shepherd-Towner Maternity and the Infancy Protection Act. The act would alleviate America's high infant and maternal mortality rates, with federal funds at the county level. 1 in 6 babies of families died in poverty-stricken families. Compared to New Zealand, a country with similar clinics being put in place achieved an infant death rate of 1 in 21. Florence Kelley fought for child labor legislation in addition to laws for hours and wages for women.